Good night. Good night to the two ladies of honor.
Good night,
Respect you.
sir. Good to
Good
see
night.
you.
Good. I'm glad that you spoke about community. Before I forget, many years ago, when I migrated to Canada and studied at Ryerson, the first course I did was something called uh, the Psychology of Human Relations and Communications Media. And the main point they made in that whole program was that a matter becomes a public issue not because of its any inherent importance in the matter itself, but the amount of publicity and attention you give to it, right? And that is what is happening in St. Lucie. The people have there's encouraged and they now are organically taking it on and take it to a level.
Mhm.
Just like we did with the cybercrime bill.
Yes.
So once you keep punching and punching, sooner or later you have to begin to recognize the importance. Secondly, just before he came on air, and they called a call from Dr. Nichols who said that somebody was calling him saying that by by the Master Week show playing the national anthem every night is against the protocol. They're breaking the rules or what. So I told him it was absolute rubbish, right? There's no, they don't break the protocol when you fly the Barbados flag. They tell you how to obey the protocol. When the radio station open with the Barbados national anthem, they're not breaking protocol. So I think we are beginning to make an impact in that regard. They probably feel that Marcivic should begin to own, quote unquote, own this concept of the national anthem, and therefore they're trying to bust in on it. I would like to suggest, and if I that in future, in fact, from the next time on air, I will come on air wearing a Barbados pin on my
Yes.
shirt. I think we should demonstrate.
We should start to do that. Yes.
We took issue with the prime minister not wearing it, and we should show the example that we are going to do it every night, every day, because Barbados is our country every night, every day, and not on special occasions. Right, and the
Correct.
flag.
And
Right.
the flag, and the flag. Only today I was looking at going back at some of the prime ministers. I'm going to give you back your time, but just to say this, that I was looking at some of the prime ministers' earlier presentations to the UN, and I noticed that I have not found any of them at the moment. They might exist, but I have not found any picture with her wearing the Barbados flag at all times that I saw today. Just this morning, I was researching. It was the UN sustainable goals that she was wearing. I have not seen, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I have not seen it. And so, to that person that is saying that we keep playing the national anthem every night, you know what? It is causing us to become more patriotic to our country. There is a love for Barbados that we're developing. We are beginning to connect with the lyrics of this anthem, and it's become really our rallying call. The anthem has become our rallying call, and
And
yes, go
it,
ahead.
it,
Yeah.
it resonates very strongly in diaspora. As a matter of fact, one of the big fans of the show, you would know the name Walter Eady,
Yes.
has for some time been impressed on me to have. He gave me some ideas as to how we can take that national anthem and make further use of it. I will discuss it with you off air,
Yes.
but they themselves and one or two other people, I mean, they like to hear it because they don't get to hear it themselves unless they go or they play it at home. So have it collectively, that means something to the spirit and the Barbadianists. And one last thing before on the question of independence. Uh, the lighting ceremony that used to start community independence celebration on the 1st of November, which is Friday. I
Mhm.
have not heard any announcements, any promotion of it. So I don't know if it's happened
You know
again
what?
already.
I'm going to let us spend a little, at least 15 minutes, Miss McLean, and to talk about the what, independence and the republic, because that's one of the topics I had on here
Oh,
tonight. And I
okay.
would ask the other guests to come a little later, because I think, Mr. Murray, I think this is a fitting time to bring this up, because I up to now I cannot tell what we are celebrating in November. I don't know when we're celebrating. What are we celebrating in November? The others probably know. Is it independence? Is it republic? Is republic going to be on a different day? What do I celebrate on the 30th of November? Has not been made clear to us as yet. Mr. Murray, continue your thoughts and let me hear from the people.
Yes. You want me to go into my presentation
No,
itself, or you want
I
me
want us to talk a little
on
bit,
this one?
another 12
I
minutes
I well
on
I
this issue.
yeah, I don't mean to be self-centered, but the very reason I was asked to conceptualize the program, community, and I came with community independence celebration, and I said Barbados has 30 days in a month. We have 11 parishes. We have enough material in Barbados that each parish can. People thought or were skeptical at first to say it could work, and I said no, if you treat each parish separately, and each parish has its own distinctions, you have enough material coming out of the community to carry the program. I've been doing that for almost 29 years now. As a matter of
Mhm.
fact, it's been so impactful that I see an announcement has been made that from BTMI that when they have the gathering next year, 25, they're gonna be have each parish, activity in each parish for the whole year. So they're building on an infrastructure that has proven its worth.
Mhm.
I think like I said last time we talked about, I think the mistake is to have taken it and put it under the community development division. Now it becomes just another activity. Max, you know that when something's under the prime minister's office, it has a different impact and impact for the public psyche differently. And it should have its own dedicated staff, like have people who go work if you're treating it every day, month, every year, yes, you have to work it every year, not as though it was a netball tournament sometime and you have 2 weeks to prepare for it, or right? So I think that is part of the problem. Uh, and you're losing momentum. Um, and I would like to see it go back, because I remember that before, in order to enlist the help of the committee, I met with the radio stations and I told them what was my idea, and I sought their help, because at one time we only would hear Barbadian music the last week before the 30th. And they started playing it from the 1st of November throughout November. As a matter of fact, it helped artists to get more money and more royalties because they're getting more and more exposure, and it rekindled a lot. So it was very useful in stimulating. And let me see this opportunity. I was so committed to it that when I went to Ottawa as High Commissioner on the 1st of November at 6 o'clock, the lights will be switched on at the official residence, Barbados colors, and people come carry park and take pictures because that is Barbados territory, and they celebrate. And every year I did that while I was there. I'm not sure what happens now. And now at my home here where I live now, on the 1st of November, my wife makes sure that we have lights also. So it's something that's part of me now. And I think it can be, it has shown it's part of the community. And I think we're doing ourselves a disservice by not cultivating and encouraging the master speech. So it's setting the tone outside of the independence move. And it's something we should build on and make it patriotism every day of the year for
Yeah.
Barbados.
The big question I would like for everybody, we have and just another 5 minutes. And throughout the program, I think once we get a break, we're going to go back to this,
Okay.
because I think that we really need to settle this. I remember the first year that there was, after we became a republic, someone was sheltering and they came on my veranda, just a regular lady going to work, and she said, Independence is tomorrow, but I don't even know what I'm celebrating. What am I supposed to celebrate? And she was genuinely confused. And I've heard children at school who are confused as well. And so, my question to everybody who is on: should we have a separate day for Republic Day? Should we keep November 30th as Independence Day and have a separate day for Republic Day? Is that what we should have? I'm not sure what they're planning to have this year. They've started to decorate town. What is it that we're decorating for? What are we preparing for? That I need to understand that, because if it is it that we're going to obliterate November 30th we're going to change that as Independence Day and it becomes Republican Day or something? I don't know. I'm confused. Miss McLean, do you know what it is?
I do not know, but it is not only us that are concerned. On Saturday, I was at a place getting a manicure, and one of the ladies there said, "What is happening on the 30th of November?" Is it Independence Day? Is it Republic Day? What I really want to know. And then another young lady turned and she looked at me and I laughed and said, "Why are you looking at me?" I said, "Well, for your information, November the 30th is Independence Day. We have had no announcements." And I would answer the question this way. We should have another day for Republic Day. Now, somebody may argue we have a lot of holidays already. Go in and look at the existing holidays. And if you have to eliminate, there was a time we had United Nations Day, right, Glyne? We used
That's
to have a
right.
holiday called United Nations Day, and it came out when they put in the national heroes and things like that. So we can go in and look and see where we can change it. Because what you're gonna have is a case where in the minds of Bajans, if we don't do that in an effort to kill off independence, if that's the objective, we can have a situation where people, it says, they say, and I don't know if it's what foul fish
Let the
or good
fish, good red
what
herring.
good red herring. You
Right.
need to do that because right now there's nothing.
I,
And
I,
and
I,
and nature
I,
abhors a vacuum.
I would have thought that given the fiasco and the embarrassment that happened last time, that they would have learned some lessons and have been more proactive and definitive and set the stage for what they want to do. But it seems as though maybe the prime minister is too busy looking after the world and look after independence in the country, unless that has been subsumed on because of the republic. You don't know. Give us some insight into what you're thinking is, so we can at least have an opinion and prepare ourselves for it. But right now, obviously, no importance is being attached to it. Then there's nothing in the air. All
But
kinds of things are being
Glenn,
promoted, nothing happening.
Glenn,
Yeah,
isn't
go
this
ahead.
something that you would have? You sat in cabinet like I did. I don't, and I am sure that if we were sitting with these questions unanswered, my cabinet colleagues that I knew would have raised it officially in cabinet meetings. Prime
Of course.
Minister, Mr. Chairman, as people with whatever they use in terms of that, like one of those two terms. What exactly is happening on November 30th? My constituents and the people of Barbados want to know. I can hear my colleagues saying that, you know, and
Uh, uh,
having a
uh,
discussion. So I
and
don't
you'll
understand
be
why
you'll
we
be
cannot
obligated
have definitive.
and you'll be obligated to answer it and give an idea. And then what I used to do when the program was finished, I would send it be a cabinet paper and tell everybody see in detail and everybody knew at the same time what was happening. So it was treated
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But what I remember is that, and they say we have short memory. We don't have short memory. I remember that when this issue came up, when they kind of was trying to slide it in the same way they did with the Republic, right, where we
right,
did
that's
not
right.
have the referendum, they tried. Now, this government is something else. How many of you remembered when they were telling us we were going to celebrate Republic Day, and all of their cronies started to print the T-shirts? You
That's
remember
right.
that they were
That's right.
changing Republic Day, changing Independence Day to Republic Day, and I was saying nothing to us. And the people of Barbados rose up and they said absolutely not. And you remember what the Prime Minister said 2 years ago? She said we will revisit this another time. Who remember that?
That's right. That's right.
That's
I
what she
remember
said.
that.
And she has not come back to us with it. All we see is happening. We're seeing preparations are going on. And what we're saying on the show is this: if you won't ask her in cabinet, as these past cabinet members are saying how it's normally done, if those that are with you in parliament, they don't have the balls to ask you, the people of Barbados we are asking you, ma'am,
But
what is happening? What are we
in,
celebrating?
in addition, Minister Wilfred Abrams, he's also minister responsible for information. And last time, remember, he was the voice of the confusion. He tried to sort out back and forth. But he himself, he should be saying something. That is his role as Minister of Information. Uh, GIS is there, has always been there since 1958, I think it was. And these institutions are being played a disservice, being pushed in the backwater. And it's something else, the influencers are the propagandists. That's one of the most despicable modern terms I've ever heard, an influencer, a propagandist who's being paid a sum of money to promote a particular cause. They're not journalists, they're not analysts, they're not giving an object. That is their job. So they are putting propaganda for persons or against persons. So influencers, and that's where the taxpayers' money is going.
Yeah, they're trying to push this Barbados National Day thing. I'm saying to the Prime Minister and to our entire cabinet, let's not be disrespectful again to the people of Barbados. This is what they were pushing last year, okay? And the
Yeah.
confusion was there again. Is it Republic Day? Is it Barbados National Day? Is it Independence Day? Listen to me, Barbados. We need to demand clarity of this government. They're not going to confuse us anymore, confuse our children. People are connected to November 30th. You hear what I tell you? I am telling you, there is a connection that Barbadians have to November 30th. Don't play with our emotions. Do not play with our emotions. You need to be clear with us on exactly what is happening on November 30th. And up until we're going to do that Miss McLean, if we mean every time we come on here, we make us think about it, we will. They must make it clear. This is very emotional for a lot of people.
But I'm looking at this thing here, Barbados National Day press statement. Anthony Blinken, here's the Secretary of State. So was he congratulated Barbados last year on our National Day, which means that something has been
says Barbados National Day press statement, but
on behalf of the United States, I want to congratulate you and celebrate your independence. The United States shares blah blah blah. So this is as you celebrate your independence on November 30th. But he made reference. Well, that may be just the title of his press release. I'm not sure what else goes on underneath. But you're correct. What we have done is to, I can't even say dilute, but they almost seem to be trying to wipe off the face of the national calendar Independence Day. And that is absolutely disrespectful to the people of Barbados. I don't understand. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Glyne.
I'm fully convinced that this government, or at least the leader, is intent of rewriting and reshaping and reconfiguring Barbados in a way that nobody's ever imagined. Too many things that have become important to Barbados, Barbados have embraced and promoted and been proud of, are being knocked aside without any consultation, information, are just being demolished. You did it with the NAS building in Bridgetown for Freedom Park. You did it with the fire source next door. You're doing it with somebody other. Doing it happening down St. James, where the built heritage or some of the natural are being obliterated.
Yes.
With no context. At least give me an idea why it is being done. You have national heroes there now square with some futuristic. It says nothing.
And right? The thing is, when you look at those things, I mean, just try to visualize it in terms of the physical structures that Glyne spoke about. You remove that. You remove historic. Today when I passed whole town, and I pointed out the monument to my friends, and then I indicated to them that there's this wish on the part of government to remove this. And the question is, isn't this an important part of your history? And this isn't me asking. Then you point out the Bridgetown and its historic garrison and where the Barbados Defense Force is, and that is supposed to disappear. So what you're going to create is some generic looking place with no historical. But I say this to the Prime Minister of Barbados. Somebody said it to me a little while ago. A lie is a sprint, and the truth is a marathon. You may try to sprint across these things to remove the facts, the history. But this is part of the deconstruction. Deconstruct and reconstruct, but we seem to be stuck on deconstruct.
But Maxine, sorry, one of the most demeaning and to me vexatious proposal is to demolish government headquarters and turn it into a hotel facility. Why? Just because you want to put it in some greedy capitalist hands, can you imagine anybody there proposing the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue or number 10 Downing Street, or what is it in France, in Paris, the President's Palace? at the center of government. The government headquarters, first of all, the original fire station was one of the first buildings built by a Barbadian government of the masses after 1951. That was the work. You started to build the Barbadian now, the Barbadian architecture and colloquial buildings, etc. And then it was government headquarters in '56. I remember as a little boy going to the garrison at Cornwall and seeing that come up of the ground. I'm wishing, because at that time it was the tallest building in Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that people used to call it Adam's Castle, because it was so
Mm-hmm.
big to us. Because prior to that, all of the government offices, the ministries, used to be in parliament buildings. And so we decided you have to have your own facility. And they built that, and that has, I mean, every little boy or girl can think of being prime minister in that office one day. You think you're going to knock it down just to put it in the hands of moneyed
But,
interests? Have you no
but
shame, no conscience?
I
Yeah.
want to go
Uh,
back to the headline, the title
Yeah,
of
we're
the
going to
press
spend
release.
another minute on this, and I hope
Okay.
we have some time to go back to it, Miss McLean, because this is a
I
hot
just want
topic.
to say that that Barbados National Day might have come from communication sent to Washington, because remember the Prime Minister was talking about a national day.
Yes,
And that is what they might have had that communicated to them, and that's why they use it. Now,
yes,
I will say simply, I'm very concerned about the statement about teachers being, because when you communicate to children, you are actually erasing something that has not, well, are preventing the implanting of something in children's minds, because we know of independence, but if they do that to the children, what you're doing is you are taking away from those young children the opportunity to understand what independence is about.
yes.
you're one quick second, Marcy. You're very right, Maxine, because at one time, the 5th of November used to be Guy Fawkes Day.
Big day.
Remember, remember Big Day? That was commemorating the attempt by Guy Fawkes to blow up the Parliament in England. And we used to celebrate on Barbados with bonfires and the cap boil and cap, and that went on, and then that went on, and then when Tom Adams became prime minister, he thought it was noisy and disruptive, it upset the animals and older people and what. And he banned it, and that nobody remembers that now. So it shows that if you ignore something long enough, it could go
Yes,
Yes,
away for anybody remembering it.
but you have
But
said it so well, and that is what they're trying to do. You said it, and we're going to pick this up again
yeah,
right on there at what you said. If you ignore it long enough, and that's what I hate about this. That what's happening is that she is determined. They are determined. This government to get their way. It doesn't matter what the people of Barbados want. They are determined. They're going to ignore it, and it goes out of our mind. But Miss, it's a hot topic, but we're gonna get back to it. But let me just allow Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray has done his research,
yes.
and Mr. Murray, over to you.
Thank you very much. My topic tonight is called "When White is Not Right." When white, WHITE, is not right, RIGHT, and it
Mhm.
all relates. It relates to this. It has relations to what we are talking about tonight spontaneously. Now, first of all, um, I've lived to see where some of our major institutions that made Barbados what had become proud and successful, advanced and progressing, disappear, eroded, cast aside. There was a time when education held pride of place for Barbados. There was a time when a school, properly a school building, was almost as sacred as a church. There were things you would
Mm.
not do because you had it in such awe and respect. And they said that to bring me back into that um, sordid affair that took place at uh, Foundation School 2 weekends ago, where the government, the Barbados Party, succeeded, decided to paint the floor of of the school building of the foundation school in red in party colors. To me, that is political vandalism. It political. It is very, very, very unbecoming of a serious government. And they should be ashamed of themselves. And it's not too late to apologize. And by now, we would hope that floor had been repainted because you have destroyed the neutrality, the apolitical nature of the school by putting it in red. And in my time as a reporter, also when I was in the Barbados Party, I worked in the Barbados Party. I helped arrange conferences. I've been to conferences both for the B's and the D's, probably 10 or 12 different schools in Barbados: Harrison College, uh, Queens College, Commonwealth, Gradley Adams. Give me some more. Yeah, Foundation itself. Uh, nobody ever went near. It just did to do that. And it would, if anybody proposed it, I'm sure it would have been kicked down. But because of this idea of the supremacy of the party, and our image must predominate wherever we go, I can see that being proposed. I know that's something that would not have missed the prime minister's notice at all, because she's very detailed. She likes to know what's going on, everything. She likes knowing what is going on, also who's doing it, etc. So it's something like that cannot have escaped them. And then the prime minister. So what's happening? The prime minister came to that. If red is so important a symbol, right? And I will give you some insight into. There's a whole area of study called the psychology of colors, of color, which each color is supposed to represent certain, to reflect and stimulate and get certain responses from individuals. That's why you wear certain colors. And so your party color is a party symbol. It's supposed to represent the party. Red came out of Social International in the 40s and 40s. You days when you're fighting for the workers and the working class, that was their red. I mean, can you imagine Keir Starmer or Tony Blair going to a Labour Party conference in England and wearing a pink tie on and deliver their speech? Can you imagine? I've watched press conference, party conference all over the world, United States and England. I've seen Thatcher dressed in her blue, because that is you're representing your party and whatnot. But here the prime minister goes and she other people, the floor and people in the red shirts is all red.
Right.
But she is in white. She is in white. Is it not white? Red is for the masses. But we are too good for that. And red and white is for the classes or the elite. Because the prime minister came to the Barbados, probably wearing white. Maxie would know or not. I had such a came from the DLP to the BLP, but she wore white. I've never seen, like I said last time, I've only seen one member of her family, the late brother Warren, who unfortunately died, wearing red. The white is their natural color. White, and I say this because I was trying to put it in a historical, sociological, and psychological context. I remember thinking about white is just white. I remember growing up, and if you went into Bridgetown on a Thursday in the 50s, 60s, or probably 70s, when sugar was still king, you'd see the plantation managers and owners coming to town dressed in white from head to toe sometimes. White court hat, as we call it, white shirt, white jacket, white pad, going to the bank, the brown valise or suitcase, we call it a valise, to collect the workers' money. And this stood out. In Britain, go to Barclays Bank especially. So that represented the plantocracy, the money class, the elites and whatnot. Okay. Apart from that, the prime minister's grandfather, the patriarch of the family, Ernest Data Money, was aligned to the same money class, as they call the conservatives, the money owners, the plantations, the people with the welfare in Barbados, under a party called the Barbados National Party. And then when that got destroyed at the polls, then it became the Motley team. So I'm saying that we are all products of our upbringing and our socialization, family circles. So if you have been raised in the circles where white and thinking that the sociology and the social class and the money class, white become naturally part of your thinking. Right? I'm just trying to see the put it in some kind of context,
Interesting. Yeah.
right? And because you can't red is supposed to represent power and strength and determination and courage or whatnot. Things which any political party, that's why the Barbados Labour Party and other parties of that era latched on because they represented those symbols to the working class.